if it's only 75% as strong, and by the way, why is it only 75% as strong? Here's why. You have this matrix. You have all these collagen fibers in different directions, right? So, this is a great analogy. I would remember this or write this down in a deposition or in court. That if you have, as an example, let's say I have 10 pieces of string. And I take those 10 pieces of string and I lay them all randomly in a circle. One here, one here, one here. In other words, a matrix. And then I go and pull on any directions of those strings. There's a certain amount of force I can pull before those strings will break. Okay? Now, let's take all of those strings that are laid in this way and let's align them up, all in this direction right here. So now I got all the strings in this direction. Let's apply the same force. Is it going to break now? No. Now we have huge tensile strength. Now in bone, you know that as what? What? The matrix of bone. You physically see that, especially in the femur, right? You take an x-ray of the femur, you can see that matrix, the density of that matrix of that bone, of those stress lines with absolute clarity, can't you? That's the exact same thing that's happening to the soft tissue. So, when the matrix is spread out like that, it takes a certain amount of tissue. That's why it's weaker, because it's spread out. Well, that's the opposite. When you do the chiropractic adjustment, that's actually what it's doing. It's helping to align the matrix, and that's what helps make the tissue stronger. So that's what makes it weaker. Now, it's not as elastic because it's type 3 collagen. So what does that mean to the patient? So first of all, the strength part. What does that mean to the patient when it's not as strong? They'll go and do a normal activity that they could do fully before the injury. Now they go and do that activity, and what happens? Re-exacerbation, because they can't do it fully. So they have micro lesions, and that's called a re-exacerbation. That's why.